Okay, this really is the last installment, I promise. So, England is kind of the exception to this whole absolute monarchy rule, and that's because it had parliament, which limited the power of the monarchy, and also they also have a constitutional monarchy as well. So, in on June 15th, 1215, the Magna Carta, the Great Charter, was signed by King John I. He was forced to sign it by the nobility, who was just tired of him abusing powers and raising taxes to go off and fight foreign wars. So they forced him to sign this document. Now, like 8 days later, the Pope annulled the document, saying it wasn't valid. But a lot of the same tenets in that document, in the Magna Carta, were then incorporated into subsequent documents limiting the power of the monarch. Um, and the English Bill of Rights, which was signed by William and Mary in 1689, they became the monarchs after the Glorious Revolution. King Charles I actually loses his head during that revolution. Oh, don't worry though, he put his ponytail up, so when they severed his head, his hair didn't get chopped off. This way, he had his hair when he went to heaven. True story. He was worried about that. So William and Mary of Orange came over and they became the new monarchs as long as they signed the English Bill of Rights, again further limiting their power, and making England more of a limited monarchy. So Parliament, as you see here, these are the Houses of Parliament, and Big Ben is attached to the Houses of Parliament. It's not a freestanding structure. Learned that when I was in London last year. Parliament is made up of a bicameral legislature. Bicameral is just a fancy way of saying two houses. Um, our Congress is bicameral, right? We have two houses. We have the Senate and the House of Representatives. While Parliament has the House of Lords and the House of Commons. Now, the Prime Minister is the leader of the House of Commons. So you don't elect, British people do not directly elect the Prime Minister. They actually vote for political parties, and the percentage of political parties, when you win those seats in Parliament, then the choice is usually made from the majority political party holder in the House of Commons, and they choose one of their own as Prime Minister. The House of Lords, that's if you are of noble birth. So regardless if you are educated or kind or fair or open minded, if you are a lord, you have a seat in the House of Lords. The House of Commons was added later, of course, to give the common people a say as well. And that truly today is the more powerful of the two houses. The House of Lords still exists, but honestly, it's probably more for tradition. The Brits are all about their traditions, hence the monarchy. Ooh, and Princess Kate pregnant again. News. So Parliament controls the taxation of England and its colonies, and England, of course, engaged in mercantilism. And what mercantilism is? So Spain engaged in mercantilism, France engaged in mercantilism. If you have colonies, you were participating in mercantilism, which is the economic system involving trade between a mother country and a colony. Now, the Brits, the mother countries have no need nor desire to be nice to their colonies. The colonies exist to make money for their mother country. That's the whole point of having a colony. So, the two major rules of mercantilism: a colony cannot produce bulk finished goods for resale. Basically means there's very little industry in the colony. The colony is producing cash crops, tobacco, cotton, harvesting or mining natural resources. Those natural resources, those cash crops, then get sent back to the mother country where they become industrialized, they become manufactured. So cotton gets turned into textiles, tobacco gets turned into cigarettes, and then the mother country sells those finished products back to the colony. The colony can only trade with the mother country. So whatever market price the mother country and those corporations want to sell it to you for, that's the price. There's no competition. It's a guaranteed market for the mother country. So here, you can only sell your raw materials to your mother country, so they're only going to pay you what they want to pay you. And when they sell you the finished product back, you can only buy from the mother country. So you have to pay their prices. Of course, there were black markets and there was smuggling and all sorts of illegal activity because people always find a way to do that. But this just led to centuries of exploitation. I mean, forget the slaves that actually were doing the work, just the colonial peoples themselves. And this is going to be a factor in revolutions. The American Revolution, the Latin American movements for independence, they're all going to be inspired by the inequality that the colonies feel towards their mother country. But again, it's all about having that favorable balance of trade. You want to export more than you import. You want to sell more than you buy. Right? It's not rocket science. That's how you make money. And colonies were guaranteed markets. They were a guaranteed way to do that. So that's what mercantilism is all about. And that, as promised, is the end of our absolutism segment. I hope you enjoyed.